G'day guys, welcome to the channel. Today is New Year's Eve here in Sydney. We're in the future actually, so a lot of you guys watching in the States and other countries may be behind. Though I wanted to wrap up the year, summarize the year that was and watches, and I also wanted to thank each and every one of you for tuning into my channel. Now I started posting content earlier this year, just for the funsies of it, right? I'm not doing this seriously. I use my own money to buy the watches, and although I do buy and sell a lot of watches, because I use my own money and I have a budget in mind for this hobby, I can't go crazy, even though I could and I want to. But the year that was, so 2024, I did dive headfirst into the watch game. I thought to myself I wanted to delve deep into it. I wanted to work hard and achieve some goals, and coming into the end of it, it's been a long year. It's been a fantastic year. Wristwatch check, I'm actually wearing my Datejust Wimbledon. And I wanted to go through some categories with you just to wrap this year up. So I'm gonna rapid fire them. So, firstly, my favorite release of the year has to be the 2024 Omega Speedmaster White Dial. Now, why that's my favorite release is that that's the only watch ever to make me go out there and just buy it impulsively. And every time I look into the watch, I always think to myself, am I gonna trade you? Are you gonna be sacrificed for a Daytona or something? And it keeps surviving, it keeps on surviving. And the reason for that is it's a simple refresh of an icon. The first Omega in space is a close second to it. However, the overall package, the beautiful bracelet, the nice white dial, just the overall simplicity of the watch itself, especially Daniel Craig teasing it, that's something that got me pretty interested when I first released in the photos and the leaks. That is my favorite release of 2024. As basic as it sounds, that is my favorite release. Now, my favorite purchase of the year will be my Rolex Submariner Bluesy. And the reason for that is it is a milestone watch for me because it's forced me to work harder. And in doing so, I've been able to reach the next tier of watches in terms of the price bracket. Because I used to buy watches when they're around $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And then I moved up to about that 10, 11, 12,000. Now we're at that 20, 25-ish K range, and yeah, that's the watch that was my favorite purchase of the year because it signaled the fact that, okay, I'm working harder, I'm making a bit more money, I'm able to obtain that next level, and next year I want to go a level above again. And also it's a reflection of the change in taste that I have. So I'm starting to get interested in more different case materials as well. So that is my favorite purchase of the year. Now, my least worn watch of the year actually is my Rolex Datejust Wimbledon. Only a few reasons. It's not a bad watch at all. It's a 36mm fluted Jubilee bracelet. The fact of the matter is it's just not as interesting as the other watches I own. So I've got the GMT, I've got the Divers, I've got the Chrono. It's just a date-only watch, even though it is pretty and it wears well and it's fantastic to wear. It's just not something that I normally wear on the day-to-day basis. I save this watch mainly for formally occasions because it is more under the radar, but for everything else, I wear my other watches. So this has been the least worn watch of the year. Now, on the flip side, the most worn watch of the year for me is actually the GMT Master 2 Batgirl. Now, it was the Mist Flake, but I did ended up moving that on in order to get myself more grails. So besides the Mist Flake, the Batgirl has been my most worn watch for the simple reason that I personally work with different time zones. So I'm currently working with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different time zones around the world. And the GMT function to me is just something I use on a day-to-day basis. And even though it's New Year's Eve, I actually am still working today. I'm not wearing the GMT because most of my clients and staff are all taking the day off. However, Batgirl is my most worn watch of 2024. Now, the last two categories. The watch that's been the biggest disappointment for me would have to be the Cartier Santos. Now, before you flame me in the comments, it's not a bad watch. It's a fantastic, beautiful watch. I love that watch to bits. However, it was the most disappointing for me because I could just not get the right fit for it. It did not fit my wrist well. Yes, you can see here the Datejust, it's not really moving around. I've got the Easy Link out, but it's comfortable. It's a comfortable wear. even if I put the easy link in, which I'll do right now, whoop, even if I put the easy link in as I just did, it's still a comfortable wear for me. The Santos, on the other hand, it was either too loose or too tight. In the beginning of the day when I had the right fit, it just became too tight. And at the end of the day when I removed the link, it just was too loose still. So disappointing for me because I really do love that watch. But unfortunately, that's not something I'm gonna end up picking up again in the future. So that's my most disappointing watch for 2024. And finally, the watch I want to buy next for 2025, or the one I'm actually looking forward to, is the Omega Seamaster Bronze, Gold, and Titanium with the green dial. So continuing on my quest to experiment with different case materials, this is the perfect iteration and rendition of the Seamaster in a modern vintage taste. I've worn it, I've tried it, I want it. I'm just waiting for it to hit the ADs by March next year in order for me to get that sneaky discount, because 17,600, that is a bit of a pill to swallow, at least with an AD discount. Even if it's 10 or 15% off, you're gonna get a hefty discount of about, I'll call it 1,700, maybe 2,000, something like that. But that is the year in review, rapid fire these questions and answers. I hope you guys had a wonderful year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in 2025. Take care.